Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out pattern 1 of the major scale in the 3 note per string system. That's one that has 7 patterns for the whole system, as opposed to the cage system which just has 5. I've got a video about the differences between these two different systems. I personally think that you should learn the caged system one first. So make sure you've gone and checked that out. There'll be a link in the description if you're over on YouTube that'll link you to the website where you can get a diagram for this pattern and all of the other patterns in this system and the comparisons between the different systems and why you should learn what and when and all of that sort of stuff. So let's get to a close-up and check out how to play it. So we're looking at G major scale 3 note per string pattern 1. Now pattern 1 is going to start on the first note of the scale, which is the note G. Now we're going to be playing, as the name suggests, 3 notes on each string. So we're going to be playing G, A and B, which is going to be 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, then C, D, E, which again, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. I'm going to come back and talk about the fingering in a second, just in case you're worried about that. Then we're going to play F sharp, G, A, which will be 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Same thing on the 3rd string, which will be B, C, and D. Then we move on to the 2nd string, we're moving up again, so first finger is now on the 5th fret. We're going to play E, F sharp, and G. That'll be 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, and then 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret again on the thinner string, which will be the notes A, B, and C. So that whole thing, I'm going to call the frets now, so it'll be 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Now I'm hoping there that you can see that we've got these nice symmetrical pairs here. 3, 5 and 7, and then the middle 2 strings 4, 5 and 7, and the thinnest 2 strings 5, 7 and 8. Okay, let's talk about the fingering here. Now this particular stretch, the first one, this 3, 5 and 7, I find a lot easier to do that stretch in any circumstance using my 2nd finger on the middle note. Some people much prefer playing 1st finger, 3rd finger, little finger. Okay, now I don't, my little finger is quite short, so I adapt the scales to fit my hand shape. You might have to do the same thing. In this particular case, because on the middle 2 strings we've got this finger in the 4, 5, 7, which is almost certainly going to be 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, I think it makes sense to be using 1, 2 and 4 here anyway for the transition, because you can see there, particularly if it gets a little faster, little finger and 2nd finger don't have to move, do a whole lot of moving to get out of the way, just 1st finger creeps up. Now here on these thinnest 2 strings, and this is a bit of a personal preference thing, but I want to share that with you because I want you to learn to make up your own or find your own personal preferences. I have practiced this scale a lot using this fingering, and there are certainly advantages to doing it that way depending on what it is that you're playing. However, I tend to play a lot of bluesy sort of stuff which involves string bending. Now, that kind of stuff around the pentatonic scale, particularly A minor pentatonic scale and G major scale combine really well together. It's very likely that I'm going to be kind of find my hand here. So if I practice like this, it's not likely that it's going to kind of flow into what I normally do, whereas I can feel it a lot more comfortable using 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. Now, this transition going from here, 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger to little finger over there is not particularly easy. Okay, and I'm having a little period where I'm working on these sort of scales again and rethinking about the fingerings that I use. But that, you know, it's something I still need to do a bit of practice on, but the fact that it means that I can blend it in with other stuff that I play seems to make a lot more sense. However, if I was doing a particularly technically challenging thing, it might be that I use the 3rd and 4th fingers. And it's something I'm aware of, this, you know, playing with your strengths or practicing your weaknesses to make them a strength. I find the 3rd and 4th finger here, it's just a bit weak. It feels, my little finger feels a bit cumbersome. It doesn't that feels just a lot easier and a lot more natural. So I kind of have a regular challenge with myself as to whether I should be working on this to try and make it better, or whether I should just work on this because this is my natural playing style. That's a decision that you have to make. It's a kind of an artistic decision about your guitar playing, whether you're going to work on that one thing or the other. You'll probably find you feel these as triplets when you're doing hammer-on. So it'll be like 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, and it goes all wonky there, right? So if you're doing it as triplets and that's how you're practicing it, you might find that you want to play that top note twice. So triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. So you're picking on the beat each time. And then you've got your 2 hammer-ons and your 2 flick-offs afterwards. However, it is really important that you practice it as 16th notes as well. So you have this 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. If you don't practice it as 16th notes as well, you'll find that you can only use it in a triplety situation, which is a lot less useful. It's a really good idea to learn to make music with one pattern before you learn the next one. So this is pattern 1, learn it, digest it, practice playing it up and down, then start improvising with it. Get a backing track in the key of G major or A minor if you want to use it modally, and just make music, experiment, explore, play it, use it, and then learn pattern 2. Okay, you don't want to go about learning pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, trying to connect them all together and just be really good at playing scales. You want to get good at playing music, and to do that you have to make music with it. So don't delay on that. Learn this pattern, check it out, make sure you're really crystal clear the fingering, where the dots are, and then explore it. Try mixing up the fingering, see what ways you can use it to actually make music, because that really is the key thing. The amount of times I met guys that can play all of the different scales and play all the patterns, but they can't make music with them is far too often, right? I don't want you to be that person. So make sure you put the majority of your practice time into making music with the scales rather than just running them up and down. So do all of that, and I'll see you for the next video where we'll check out pattern 2. See you soon. Bye bye.